You want to unlock the door to the most challenging aspects of algebraic problem solving, right? Hello, math learners. Hassan here. Today, we'll be delving into multi step equations. This is our gateway to algebraic mastery. In this video, we will understand the strategic approach behind solving them. So, let's start. A multi step equation is an equation that takes three or more steps to solve. We'll have a mix of addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. We also might have to combine like terms or use the distributive property to properly solve our equations. Now, we already did all these components earlier in our tutorial series. If you haven't mastered those components, please go back and practice those lessons. All right, here is a quick overview of how we can combine like terms. Like terms are terms whose variables are the same. So if you have 7x, x, negative 2x, they are all like terms because the variables are all x. Similarly, if you have 1 over 3 xy square, negative 2 xy square, 6 xy square, xy square over 2, they are all like terms because the variables over here are all xy square. So if you have the same variable and the same exponents, we have those as like terms. Now, a key note over here is 2, 5, and negative 6 are also like terms because they are constants and don't have any variables. This means any numbers on the number line are also like terms, so we can add or subtract them as well. So the rule over here is we can add or subtract like terms to make one term. For example, 7x and x, we can add these two like terms. But how do you actually add the terms with variables? It's pretty simple. We just add the coefficients. We can see that 7x has 7 as the coefficient and x has the invisible 1 as the coefficient. So we can add 7 plus 1 as 8x. So 7x and x add up to 8x. Now let's try to simplify this expression. Remember, this is an expression, not an equation. So over here, we have 10x squared plus 5x minus 3x squared minus 7x. If you look at the power of the variable, we have 10x squared and 3x squared. So we can group these two terms together. 10x squared and 3x squared are the like terms, and 5x and 7x are the like terms. So we group them together over here and over here. Now if we add them, 10 minus 3 is 7, so it becomes 7x squared. 5 minus 7 is negative 2, so this is negative 2x. So our simplified expression is 7x squared minus 2x. This is how we combine like terms. Now we'll see how we can use this strategy in the multi-step equation. So a quick overview of how we solve multi-step equations. Step number 1 is we get rid of the grouping symbol by applying the distributive law. Second step is we simplify both sides of the equation, if possible, by combining like terms. The last step is we eliminate numbers or variables by applying inverse operations and isolate the variable. Now let's see how we can apply this step by step in the practice problem. The first problem we have is negative 12 equals 9x minus 6x plus 15. Step number 1, we don't have any grouping symbols over here, so we don't need to apply any distributive law. The next step is we need to simplify by combining like terms. Do you have like terms on each side? You can see that we can combine 9x and 6x. So we add 9x and 6x to make it 3x. Now we need to get rid of the numbers from the right side to the left side. So if you want to get rid of the 15, we subtract 15 from both sides. So we have negative 27 equals 3x. So we divide both sides by 3. Use the division property. We get negative 9 equals x. That's how we solve x. So our answer is x equals negative 9. Now let's look at the next example over here. We have 2 open parentheses 1 minus x close parentheses plus 3 equals negative 8. In this case, the first step is to get rid of the grouping symbol by applying the distributive law. So you can apply the distributive law over here, distribute this 2 over 1 and x. So we have 2 times 1 minus, remember this minus sign comes from here, 2 times x plus 3 equals negative 8. Now we need to simplify. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times x is 2x plus 3 equals negative 8. So we have 2 minus 2x plus 3 equals negative 8. Now we need to go to the second step. We need to combine the like terms. If you combine the like terms, on the left side we see 2 and 3 add up to 5. So we have negative 2x plus 5 equals negative 8. Now we need to eliminate the numbers or variables. From here we can apply the two-step equation strategy. Subtract both sides by 5. So if you subtract both sides by 5, we have negative 2x equals negative 13. Remember, negative 8 subtract 5 is negative 13. Now we need to divide both sides by negative 2. Dividing by negative 2 gives us x equals 6.5. So our answer is x equals 6.5 for this equation. Let's look at one of the most challenging problems of this category. Over here, we have 2 distributive property to be applied. Also, we have variables on both sides of the equation. Let's see how we can solve this equation. First, we will apply distributive law to get rid of the grouping symbols. So you distribute 4 to 4x and 8. Also distribute 3 to negative 8x and 1. If you do that, we have negative 3x minus 16x plus 32 equals negative 24x minus 3. Please note that if you distribute this minus sign with this minus sign, they will multiply to give a positive number. Now we can combine the like terms on both sides. On the left side, we have negative 3x minus 16x. This can be combined to give negative 19. We don't have any like terms on the right side. Now we need to get rid of the variables from the right side to the left side. So we add 24x on both sides. If you add 24x on both sides, we get 5x plus 32 equals negative 3. Now we need to get rid of this 32 from the left side to the right side. So we subtract 32 from both sides. If we subtract 32 from both sides, we get 5x equals negative 35. So now we divide both sides by 5. We get x equals negative 7. You can see that we are using the same strategy over and over again, but in different ways to get the variable isolated. And this is how we solve the multi-step equation. Okay, let's look at these 3 problems over here. The very first one on the top, we have negative 148 equals negative 4, open parenthesis 4 plus 3x, close parenthesis. Now, the first step is we apply the distributive law to get rid of any grouping symbols such as parentheses or braces. We can distribute this negative 4 here. So if you apply the distributive law, we get negative 148 equals negative 4 times 4, that is negative 16. And we have a plus sign which is coming from here. And negative 4 times 3x, that is negative 12x. Now we can combine these 2 signs, plus and a negative sign. So you can write this as negative 148 equals negative 16 minus 12x. Now you can see that we have this negative 16 and 12 here. We need to get rid of these from the right side so that I can get x isolated. So first we can get rid of this 16. So I apply an addition operation because we have a negative sign in front of 16. So add 16 on both sides. If we do add 16 on both sides, we get negative 148 plus 16, that is negative 132 equals negative 12x. Now we can divide both sides by this negative 12. And we have x equals 11. So remember, these two negative signs will cancel out to a positive sign. So this is x equals 11 or 11 equals x. Both are correct. Perfect. Let's move on to the next problem here. Here we have negative 1496 equals 11 times negative 11n minus 4. Again, we apply the distributive property. So first, let's apply this distributive property here. Negative 1496 equals 11 times negative 11n. We have negative 121n minus 11 times 4, that is 44. Now we need to get rid of these negative 121 and 44 from the right side. So first we get rid of these 44 by addition and subtraction. So add 44 on both sides. And we get negative 121n on the right side. And this one is reduced to negative 1452. Now we divide both sides by this coefficient of n, which is negative 121. So we have this negative 1452 equals negative 121n. We divide both sides by negative 121. And if we do the simplification, we get 12 equals n. So you can write this as n equals 12. You can see that these two negative signs will cancel out to a positive sign here. Now let's look at this last problem here. We have 12v plus 7 within parentheses 3v plus 6 equals 339. So first I need to get rid of this grouping symbol, which is this parenthesis. So multiply this 7 with 3b and 6. So we get 12v plus 7 times 3v, that is 21v, plus 7 times 6, that is 42, equals 339. Now we need to see if you can combine any like terms on the same side. Here we can see that we have 12v and 21v, so we can add them together. We just add their coefficients. In this case, 12 plus 21, that is 33v, plus 42 equals 339. Now you can get rid of this 42 by subtraction. If you do subtract 42 on both sides, we get 33v equals 339 minus 42, that is 297. Divide both sides by 33. V equals 9. Awesome. We just finished the concept of multi-step equations. Understanding multi-step equations is like having a master key for the most intricate types of equations in algebra. Remember, each step is a conquest, and we are making our way stronger to algebraic expertise. That's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Now, let's get to study.